So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington.
So this is some old clip that was done by Paul Harvey, and he, I guess, and they're playing this clip. It seems to me, the more I go back and listen to it, it seems like it was some kind of anti-communist propaganda from the 60s, but they're playing it on Joe Rogan. Obviously, some fundamentalist Christian dude is on Joe Rogan, and they're playing this clip for Paul Harvey. And they're being like, whoa, you know, all the stuff that they're saying that the devil would do is being done and everything. So, which isn't the case, and we'll see. It's funny, but we'll get into it. But I'm Brantley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. So like I said, this is a cap. That's this cap chap, whatever. I don't care. And he's reacting to Joe Rogan, reacting to Paul Harvey. Yeah, I know. We're doing what the YouTubes do, which is everybody's reacting to everybody reacting to reacting. And it just keeps on going in an infinite regress of Russian nesting dolls of reaction. But that's what's happening here. So here we go. Let's see what they got going on.
If you don't see that the devil is running rampant in the culture right now, I don't know what to tell you. You probably have your head in the sand.
So just starting out fun. If you can't tell that there's an invisible, undetectable monster from mythology just running the country, then you got your head in the sand. Yeah, that's it, buddy.
Because it is so clear that there is an attack on morality. There's an attack on this next generation. And this has been happening since the dawn of time. But it seems like people are finally waking up to it. Even people like Joe Rogan. This is something that I've been seeing as a pattern on the Joe Rogan podcast recently. Joe Rogan, who used to be a staunch atheist.
No, never. He was never a staunch atheist. He was critical of religion, but he was always very clear, as far as I understand, about being an agnostic and would not ever accept the atheist label, as far as I understand. If I'm mistaken about that, let me know. But
started to really change his tune over the past few years, probably with all the craziness going on. But in this clip, I'm going to share with you.
And all the money that he's getting from all the people like you that are sitting and watching his channel and being like, oh, man, Joe's becoming a Christian. One guest at a time. Boom. Yeah, man.
A reaction to a reaction that he does. I'm sure you've heard the original video that he's going to be reacting to on his podcast from Paul Harvey in 1965.
Paul Harvey, the rest of the story.
I think the title of it was If I Were the Devil. And you're just going to see it. You're going to see the parallels between what Joe Rogan is listening to from 1965 and what's happening today. It's like pretty much prophetic. So I want to play this, share some of my thoughts with you guys, because this is important. This is important that we're paying attention to what's happening here. So listen to this clip. This is pretty wild.
Paul Harvey, you know who that is?
Sure.
So he did a thing back in the 60s or 70s, and he equated it to the devil. And maybe it is, or you could also say it's just that. But he did a radio piece on how to destroy America, the social fabric of it.
Wow.
And it's as though somebody just took America, the social fabric of America from the late 60s.
First of all, dude, my man is swole. Look at those arms.
What? Who is he looking at? Are you looking at somebody else other than? Why is he always commenting on the swollenness? Like, okay, John Cena made sense. All right, that was fine. I breezed right past that. Okay, even though I still feel like the way he look at this face. Oh man, that is You swole. But this guy, what? This guy's not swole. My arms are as big as this dude. But dude, this guy, I think this guy's got some tendencies. Cap. I think you've got some tendencies there. You know, you should just lean in. It's fun. I promise you, it's fun. You'll love it.
My dude is killing the game right now.
Sorry, I just wanted to laugh at that.
I need to get on that workout regimen.
He's doing good.
Oh my god, this guy's no wonder he has like such a hard time with anything that is LGBTQ. He clearly has tendencies. Holy shit!
And the timeline of the things that he said, it's pretty wicked. It's pretty powerful.
Wow, I'm not shocked.
We'll find a better version.
Paul Harvey.
If I were the devil.
Is this the thing?
Yeah.
If I were the devil. If I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about however necessary to take over.
I don't understand what that meant. It does what? I would seize the ripest apple on the tree. What? I'm so confused. Why? What was that? And then he just keeps going. Like he didn't just like stop after saying It's like
over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of the serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I
want to real quick here. I think it's very interesting that they always do this when they're saying like, I would tell people to do as they please. Because you get what the opposite of that is, right? Don't do as you do what I tell you to do, right? Do what these people want you to do. Do what these religious nutbags want you to do. They're just like, it's like, why? How do they not get that we could see past that, just like that control that they're trying to put out there on everybody? And they're like, see, they're encouraging people to do what they want, and not exactly what I'm telling them to do. This is crazy. That's evil. That's evil.
I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington.
Hold up, man. Let's first dissect some of these things that it's talking about here, because this is pretty wild. So I said about however necessary to take over the United States. Let me just play this.
I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom
to me, and keep in mind while we're going through this, and I'm going to get to the comments in a second here. I kind of want to seriously go through this one because I'm going to play. I think I'm going to edit this down at some point. But keep in mind here, all this really shows is the lack of originality of the right, of the Republicans, of the conservative Christians. They've been doing and saying the same shit since the fucking 60s. They're still crying about the same shit. Now, keep in mind, like they're basically saying that like, society's gotten so much worse because the devil has actually accomplished his plan. This was his plan. He's accomplishing it, right? Things have got, and so everything's gotten really, really bad. Look at the crime stats since the 90s. Look at them. Look at the violent crime stats. It's plummeted since the 90s. Like crime is down. Like things are a lot better than they used to be, just from an objective standard, especially with the 60s. Look, we're talking about the 60s. What happened in the 60s again? Oh yeah, it's civil rights thing, which I'm pretty sure the conservatives like Paul Harvey and them were probably against. I don't know. I'd have to go back and check, but I don't think if he's playing stuff like this, I don't know. But so just keep in mind that this basically is just the same thing happening over and over for like the past 40 fucking years or 60, whatever. It's for a really long time. This stuff's still being talked about. They're still crying about the same shit. It's all the same. Nothing. We haven't,
Of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve. Do as you please.
Oh, dude, that right there is a bar. Because man, it's so funny. I was just watching this video.
Yeah, bro, that's a bar, bro. Like he listens to hip hop. That's what that is. That's him like winking to his hip hop buddy. You know, in hip hop, we call those bars, and I guess it translates to poems as well. So I'm just saying, I'm hip. Okay, that's a
video of this interview in 2017. It's like a TV interview. This person was advocating for why we shouldn't allow our kids to go through mutilating medical experiments if they feel like they were born in the wrong body.
Oh my God. This one irritates the hell out of me. And let me just make this like painfully clear. There is more accidental castration from circumcision, a religious procedure, than there is from any minors getting any kind of trans-affirming surgeries at all. You can look up the stats, okay? And you know that 10%, because he's talking about people that are regretting transitioning, you know, like, and it's less than 0.5% or something of trans folks that regret. And if you look at the number, the percentage of people that regret getting circumcised, which was something they didn't have any choice in the matter, by the way, this was done to them when they're babies. So they really have no choice at all. You know the number of people, the percentage that regrets it? 10%. 10% of people that got circumcised regret being circumcised. Are we going to ban it? We're going to ban that? Oh, no, just the trans stuff, though. Go fuck yourself, Cap.
You could go down. I've done a lot of videos on that topic, but
yeah, you have. It almost said, you know, because I think you're part of that community, probably. It sounds like more and more. And you're just trying to cover your eyes. I don't know. I mean, I hate that like stereotype, but as someone who was part of that stereotype, I was very homophobic, transphobic, just you name it. I was terrible about those sorts of things. Why? Because I thought that you could choose it. Why? Because I could. Because I did. I'm pansexual. So to me, in my head, I got really mad about it because I'm like, clearly y'all are choosing to have the fun that I'm not supposed to have. So you guys are bad and evil and I hate it, you know? And that's what happened to me. So when I see people like this, I got to start to go, I think he's got some tendencies.
The person that was interviewing them was accusing them of not really being a Christian. And they were looking at like the Church of England's stance on those things. And that it blew my mind because the church in general has seemed to completely have taken the scripture and said, you know what, we're going to scrap what this thing says plainly. And we're going to make an interpretation of this. We're going to scratch out the parts that we don't like, add the parts that aren't there that we do want added. And
what
so you're
do you
seeing
think
that
you're doing, man? It's so weird when they sit there and think that they're objective. Like my interpretation of the Bible is absolutely objective. There's not 45,000 denominations or anything like that, and nobody's able to demonstrate that anybody's more right than anybody else. But like mine is objective, okay? And it's like if you talk to anybody, because the thing about the Bible is so convoluted, nonsensical. No, it's not clear. They're always like the Bible clearly states. No, if the fuck it doesn't. It doesn't clearly state jack shit. It unclearly states a whole bunch of weird shit. And then everybody takes that weird shit and goes, you know what, my interpretation of this is like means this, that, and the other thing. Yada, yada. And it's just everybody subjectively interpreting what they think it means. And then they sit back and think that it's objective. It's like so stupid.
It happened in the church. And if it happens in the church first, you better believe it's going to infect the culture. And what does it ultimately come down to? We were created in the image of God, but what we end up doing is we want to create God in our image and we depart from the scriptures.
Holy shit. That's what you're doing, man. It's like so frustrating that they can't get this. You know, it's like that. Everybody creates God in their image. Like, I can't remember who it was. It might've been Don that was on the Atheist Experience back in the day. And he always said that the Bible is a Rorschach test. Because you just think what you're going to think. You think what you want to believe about it, you know, and then you go and interpret it, and then you go and justify it using the Bible, right? There is no objective interpretation. You're just just wanting to think the things you want to think and then justify it using the Bible. And that's kind of why there's so much dissension, I think, as far as on denominational grounds.
Which is dangerous.
To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square.
I mean, it is, man. Have you met Christian people? Huh? They're pretty square. I was homeschooled. I was the only cool one. Okay. And that was debatable. Honestly, I'd said I was the only sort of halfway kind of normal dude in that group. A lot of Little House on the Prairie looking people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dresses going down past the ankle. Stuff like that.
And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington.
So that bar right there.
Stop calling them bars, man. Just don't. You're not cool, man. Okay.
You have a lot of people putting their hope in the people that are in government, the people that are in the White House, the people that are at the Capitol, in Congress, and obviously we can see
other the judicial system, and in the courthouse. Like, what do you do? You're just naming government stuff now. Like
where that's got us.
And then I'd get organized. I'd educate all.
What do you mean? Where has that gotten us? What is he talking? Like, so, a lot of people that depend on the government to do certain things it's not their choice. It's not like they're choosing. They're like, I would really love to need the government to do things for me. Whatever. Like, it's usually under some form of duress that they have to do this type of stuff. Okay. And then you go and vilify them for it, which is great. That's nice. Being completely destitute. And then not only that, then you get people like shaming them for suffering. Because that's like the conservatives' favorite fucking thing to do is just shame the people that are suffering. Like, you must have done something. I don't know. You're probably a bad person. That's why that's why this happened. That's why God loves me more than you. Okay. Just saying. That's why I thank God, and you clearly don't. Okay. Because if you did, you wouldn't be homeless right now. But anyway, all right, let me get to some comments. Sorry. I just wanted to get through like the beginning of that. And then, because I think I'm going to try to cut this up a little bit and put it out later. All right, so we got a lot of comments to go through. Let's see. Who was first here? Oh, Carrie. Hey, Carrie, how we doing? Hell yeah. And Amber. Oh no, it's not a premiere. just a regular live stream. But I am gonna, like I said, try to take it and turn it into something later. This clip has been driving me crazy because I keep seeing people playing it. A lot of these fundies are playing it like it's just the craziest thing ever. The Paul Harvey must be a fucking prophet. No, man. No. You guys are just crying about the exact same shit that you've been crying about for the past 50 fucking years. Jesus. But Ember was second. I'm sorry. I'm getting off track here. Ember was second, right? And then James was third. What's up, y'all? What's up with you? James? All right. And Steven, hey, what's up? Hey, I got in on the beginning of the show. Praise be to blind dumb luck. I know, right? That seems to be that's that guides reality, really. That dumb luck. It just let's see. Star Song. Hey, what's up? Hello. Ember said, to a zealot, an agnostic looks a lot like an atheist. Yeah. Well, anybody that's not bending over backwards to agree with them with their insanity, right? That's if he's questioned, and Rogan will sit there and question the existence of Jesus, which I'm sure to them sounds like, what are you even talking? That's crazy. What do you mean? Of course. Do you know how many people wrote about him? That means he existed. Even though it was like almost a century after he existed, whatever. Okay. Still, people wrote about him. It has to be true. Let's see. Star Song said, Emperor to a zealot and brand of religion that isn't theirs is false and lies. They want to force people to believe in their version of religion. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of always been the main thing, right? Everybody wants their version. And this is why it's so frustrating when they're always trying to shoehorn in religion into government. And it's like, y'all are not going to be happy about this. Like, once we start doing this, like if we did, let's say we just opened the floodgates, right? And just said, hey, no more separation of church and state. Y'all just do whatever. They would go crazy on each other because they're like, no, the government's got to officially endorse my religion. No, the government's got to enforce my version of the religion. And it's just, they would just have all this infighting. They're never satisfied. This is why we can't teach it in school. Which religion are we going to teach in school? Which version of Christianity are we going to teach? Huh? Just sort of like a vague one, because you can't even do that. It's not going to work. They're going to freak out about like, well, do people make choices or not? Because Romans 9 says that God makes people to go to hell. And then they all start fighting in the classroom. They're like, this is insane because none of this means anything. This is all just made up nonsense. And the whole classroom's erupted into paper ball throwing now. It's insane. Because they can't agree on jack shit. Hey, Gisela, what's up? Let's see. Snap trap. I like that. That's cool. I would do what the Apostle Paul did and create my own religion disguised as the true salvation message. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I hear that a lot, actually, that like Paul, he's kind of the one that decided everything, right? Because a lot of like what, if you look at like what the stuff that Bart Ehrman was kind of saying about it, it sounded like Paul, the Apostle Paul, didn't even know what the teachings of Jesus were. Like he only quoted Jesus 3 times, right? And it was, the one was like, don't get divorced. Another one was like, make sure to pay your pastors. You know what I mean? Make sure to pay them money or whatever. Tithe, maybe tithing, I can't remember. Something to do with paying pastors. And then the third one was some version of the Last Supper. And that's it. That was the only times that and they're all in the same book. I think it was Corinthians. But yeah, so it really seems like Paul didn't even know the teachings of Jesus. He just used him as a means to an end to get people to do everything he wants them to do. He's the cult leader now. He just used that earlier cult leader to be like, I saw him magically in my mind. And everybody was like, dude, he must have seen him because it's magic in his mind. Like, he was blind or something for a while. And then the apostle took those things off his eyes. And now he's a Christian. But let's see. Paul's religion has nothing to do with Jesus' teachings. Paul never even met Jesus. Oh, see, yeah, there we go. See, yeah, no, he met him in his mind, on the way to Damascus. It's like, oh, I saw a bright light. It's like obvious. That doesn't sound made up at all. I'm sure that was totes real. Ember said, it's so fun how the free will is real crowd are also big mad about people using that. Yeah, the do as you please. That's what I feel like you're responding to, right? The do as you please part of it. And they're like, no, you don't do as you please. You do as I please. It's like, okay, well, do we have free will or not? Bet you shouldn't. You shouldn't have it. Okay, you should just do what I want you to do all the time and just don't even use any free, whatever that word is. I don't even care. Okay. Let's see. Gisela said, so not circumcision then. Right. Yeah. I was just looking up stats for that the other night because, they're always bringing up this fucking mutilation shit. Right. And so I just was like, I wonder how often, botched circumcision happens. And it was like 2 to 3%. I was like, wow, that's a lot. Now, not all of those are 100, fully like accidental castration, but it does happen a lot. I think it was like what was like half of 1% or something like that with castration. But when we're talking about people that get circumcised, that's millions and millions and millions and millions of people. Think how often that is. Just half of 1% is a lot when you're dealing with millions and millions of people. So I'm just saying, right? So I guess we got to ban circumcision. That's all I'm saying. Okay. And 10% of the people that get circumcised regret it. So we got to ban it. We got to ban it, according to their rules for what they're trying to set for trans people using their arguments that we should be able to ban circumcision. Just saying, right? Anyway, Lloyd Disson, what's up, dude? Snapchat said, circumcision and sex change surgery is both mutilation. I mean, usually, here's the thing though, like this isn't even happening for minors. When they talk about like young kids or whatever, oh, they're mutilating young kids. No, they're not. That's just not even happening. The only time that this sort of thing does happen is usually when they're in the age bracket of emancipation, or what's it called, where you can get. It's like you're old enough, like 17, like you're old enough to go die for your government. You know, you're old enough to go get shot at, right? And then, yeah, they do the gender affirming surgeries, but it's extremely rare. And bottom surgery, as far as I understand, like hardly ever happens. That one really doesn't. The only thing that happens typically are like breast reductions, you know, for trans men. And kids get. I knew people at my church that got breast reductions that were like because they wanted to play more sports. You know, there's a young lady who went through puberty and had pretty big breasts, and she was like, I really would like to do active stuff, and she got a breast reduction. Nobody cared. So it's like, why is it such a terrible, evil thing when trans people do it, but not when anybody else does it? It's amazing to me. So yeah, it's so dishonest. Let's see here. Snapchat said, yeah, I regret being circumcised. Right? Yeah. I mean, I could have done without it, I'm pretty sure. And it's funny too, because the benefits of it aren't even true. They like claim that there's all these benefits, these like health benefits, but there isn't. It's just not true. They just are trying to say that so that they can, like, you know, cut chunks off of children because of their religion. And yeah, like, but it's good for them. No, it's not. It's just your religion, dude. You just want to do your religion thing. It's crazy. Let's see. That's me. I think circumcision should be banned. I feel like we're going to be consistent. You know, I don't think any of it should be banned. I think we need to stay the fuck out of people's business and how they raise their children. And especially when it comes to parents of trans kids. It's crazy that like they always talk about the parents' rights. You know, it's always the parents' rights to, like, you know, do this and that. But unless you're a parent of a trans child, then you fuck your rights. You don't get rights. In fact, go to jail just for being who you are. Like, yeah, that's insane. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I'm glad you pointed that out. Yeah, Snaptrap said there is no such thing as being born in the wrong body, right? Because that kind of infers that there is like a soul or whatever. You are your body. Yeah, exactly. It's not. It doesn't work like how they're saying it, but like there is gender dysphoria and so on and so forth, and you are that person. There is no. There is no like it was supposed to be this way and it's not. It's just you are you and you're supposed to be you and that's it. It's not. This isn't really too difficult, honestly. Let's see. Snaptrap said, saying you are born in the wrong body presupposes a soul. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of my take on it as well. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Drusilla said, agree. It should be something they do if they want it. Right. Yeah. That's, you know, it should be to the choice because that's really taking out the choice, right? They're not even giving those kids a choice. Those babies that they circumcised had no choice in the matter. And they fuck up a lot. 1 to 3%. They fuck up. And it's, you know, there's times when they take too much and then it's like, it can't fit. Ugh, it's really bad. It's bad. It's really bad. You know, but we're not banning circumcision, are we? No, of course not. Because you know, religious people want that one. They just want to say that everything that has anything to do with trans kids, including just getting the medications like puberty blockers and stuff, is mutilation and all this. And it's like, y'all literally mutilate. Like you're responsible for like 1% being castrated of all the people that get circumcised. Are you kidding me? That's actual mutilation. All right. All for what? For a fucking, so that you could say that you did the same thing that they did in the fucking Old Testament of the Bible, and maybe send your foreskins to like your enemies or whatever. I don't know. Kind of weird. I had a weird fascination with foreskin. I don't know. Let's see here. What is it? What's bad is good. Keeping slaves? Yeah, I know. Right? I mean, because they always say that. They're always like, oh, they're going to say what's bad is good and what's good is whatever, But and we're talking about the 60s here. There was a lot of bad stuff going on that we had to correct at that time, Anyway, let me get back to this.
Authors in How to Make Lurid Literature.
Congress, and
right.
Obviously we can see where that's got us.
And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol.
The devil using the entertainment industry to brainwash a whole generation.
Dirtier movies and vice versa.
or just snap people out of your brainwashing, right? No, but the funny thing here is, he's talking about dirtier and dirtier movies, right? And this one's fascinating to me because if you go back to before, like this time, right? The 60s was, the movies were moving towards the 70s, right? And 70s movies got really dirty. Like there's just, for no reason, there'd just be naked people. Just out of nowhere, just naked. We were watching Carrie the other day. I feel like that's a 70s movie, right? And they're just naked at the beginning. Carrie, the child in the movie, it's just naked. Like the whole beginning scene is like full front. It's great. I was like, wow. And what do we not do anymore? None of that. We don't do that shit anymore. If you watch a Jason movie from the 80s, there was like naked people all through that fucking thing. Don't do that at all anymore. Go see the most graphic horror movie. You might get like half a second of some nudity. That's it. It's actually the nudity's gone down, right? So it's funny that they're like, oh, the movies will get dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. To this point, like if you talk to them in the 60s, they'd probably be thinking by 2024, just there's whole movies of just everybody's naked. It's like a movie about what's going on in a nudist camp. Actually, Camp Crystal Lake becomes nudist. Where's that movie, right? Well, there's nudist camp that moves into Camp Crystal Lake. And everybody's just totally naked the whole time. Yeah. No, we've actually gotten cleaner with our movies. Believe it or not. I know it's crazy. Even with swearing too, I feel like. I mean, I know we swear a lot in movies and everything, but there was a time when you couldn't get 2 seconds through a movie without like hearing 7 F words. It's like things we've gotten better. We've cleaned up our movies.
I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. Wow. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families.
Joe is just blown. Joe is just mind's blown away. What year was this again? The 60s, 65 specifically. What was going on in the 60s? Well, there was like 65. This came out in 65. There was some type of thing from the 60s. Oh yeah, the acid wave of 65. I feel like we forget. We're like, we hear his voice, Paul Harvey and shit, and we're thinking it's like the 50s, right? Like it's like old Leave It to Beaver times, right? This is the 60s, man. Like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas came out, or like not came out, but when that was written about is like 6 years later. Like this, like that Fear and Loathing happened 6 years after this movie, 1971, right? So there's drugs all over the place, man. It's the 60s. It's the hippie movement. I feel like from 63 to, I don't know, I think 68 or something. It was very short. The hippie movement was not very long, right? But and then we got into the 70s and 80s or whatever. But yeah, it's just funny because they're talking about it like, oh man, and there's drugs. Like, how did they know there was going to be drugs? How did they know that? It's the fucking 60s, idiot. Of course they know that. What do you mean? Drugs are fucking everywhere.
At war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves.
It starts in the
again. That's like something that has always happened because they can't get along, man. Because they're drawing all these invisible lines in the sand, being like, "My religion's the right kind, my denomination's the right kind." On this side of the invisible line that I drew on the ground, it's completely arbitrary and doesn't matter. Jesus.
The family, man.
Hold on, what?
If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves.
It starts in the family, man.
Yeah, that's again. See, we're talking about the '60s, and or again, like the hippies and everything like that. Oh, families are at war with themselves. You know, it's come on. You know, this is just the same stuff that's been happening. Is the parents are perfect, and you got to do everything that parents want, and the parents want their kids and family to be super religious and do nothing but boring shit all the time. The same thing from back then. Okay, the exact same mentality of the parents is back then, and it was during the '60s when all their kids were getting fucked up, okay, and going to Woodstocks and stuff.
You have a war on marriage happening. There's people are getting married way later if they get married at all. Divorce is like,
yeah, there was a war on VHS tapes. Yeah, it's just a war on it. People don't even use them anymore. It's crazy.
Got around 50%. You have,
yeah, and that's a bad thing. He's like, we can either go back when we forced these people to stay married. We forced these people that hated each other to be together forever. That's what we need to do. That's when people were happy. Damn it, when we forced them to stay in relationships they hated.
The entertainment industry training kids through TV shows and movies and music that your parents are idiots. Don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. You're smarter than dad. You're smarter than mom. We've
see, this is all just like a fever dream, of some dad that is so mad that his kids don't listen to every goddamn thing he thinks, and agree with him. God.
Created this idea of even just to be straight up, I know this will be a hot take and I'm willing for it to be hot.
Okay.
Even this idea of the dad bod, what is the dad bod supposed to be? You basically have, unfit men sitting on the couch all day, just looking dumpy. And
dude, this is the weirdest qualm. And yes, I'm just gonna call it a qualm. Because what? I'm telling you, dude, this guy is obsessed with the male body. He's obsessed with men's body. He is saying that guy that was smaller than me at the beginning was so swollen, looking good, just killing the game. And now he's like, I hate dad bods. You know that? I think we should do away with dad bods. What the fuck are you talking about? It's I want all men to look like John Cena, okay? And then we can all take a bath together, and the soap can slide down. I'm sorry. I mean, no, I wasn't. I was just thinking about something. It was different. It was different.
Why is that the standard of what it means to be a dad, to look like a dad? And it's we're just degrading all of these.
Because they all become alcoholics, right? And then because it's you got to take on a lot in America for a dad, right? And so they drink a lot of beer, and then what happens? Their organs expand, and then they've got that weird worm-looking body, or the potato gut, And that's just bound to happen given the circumstances. I think
these levels of authority, of leadership, of dignity. And the places that really matter, that hold society together.
What?
Church.
What? That was what? Is he still talking about a dad bod? I don't. That's the dignity.
Is not taken seriously. Authority isn't taken seriously. Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments if you're observing any of this stuff.
Hold on. You just said that you don't want people looking towards the government and everything. I thought this is what's so weird about this. Is they talk about how terrible the government is, and then they're but nobody respects authority anymore. Wouldn't that be the government? Anyway, I don't fucking.
Each in its turn was consumed, and with promises of higher.
This guy, look, he was saying he was so swole. This guy's half my size. What the hell? What are you talking?
For ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames.
That's it.
If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you know
Are you kidding me? Does anybody know a teacher? Because I know several. And managing emotions is like the majority of what their day includes. Like that is, I mean, not the majority, but like, of course they manage emotions. What are you talking about? It's so weird when they're like sitting there saying like all the kids in school are just going crazy, and the teacher's just like, well, gotta let them, because Satan said, I just gotta. Anyway, once he's done ripping the classroom to shreds, then then we'll have a little talk. No, that's not what's happening. They get in trouble. They get kicked out of school. They get like all the same things. They just don't beat the kids anymore, which is really what I'm sure this guy's mad about. He's like, they don't even hit them with rulers anymore. This is crazy. What's even happening? Of course you got to hit kids with rulers. How else are they going to manage their emotions if you're not hitting them with sticks?
So real. Talk to any teacher these days at a public school and they'll tell you, yeah, it's tough for teachers right now.
It's always been tough for teachers. And actually, if you look at, I was looking at stats on this as well, the behavior at public schools has actually gotten better over time too. I think it's probably because they just have more to do. They can look at their devices and stuff like that. So they're not getting in as much trouble. Back in the day before they had anything like devices to play with and stuff like that or to use, they were just having to get in trouble a lot. So they got in trouble a lot because they were just out, boundary testing. Right. So but overall, the behavior at school has gotten a lot better over time
because kids are not being disciplined as toddlers, as younger kids. And so they don't learn that, throwing a temper tantrum is actually not the way to conduct yourself in society. And so they get rewarded for it.
What?
And then they do it as teenagers.
What the fuck are you even talking about? Like, the kid had the temper tantrum. It's like, and we gave him a cookie for it because that's what we want. More temper tantrums, kiddo. What the fuck are you even talking about? This doesn't even make sense as far as just like anything you're saying. You're just saying things that are just absolutely false and easily. Like, have you ever heard of anybody rewarding a temper tantrum? What? This is all, again, just about beating kids. He's like, you don't get to beat your kid when they have a temper tantrum anymore. And that's bad. It's like, Jesus Christ.
And then they do it as citizens out in the open.
Neglect to discipline emotions.
Then they do it as citizens out in the open? What, man? What are you talking about? The only people that I've really seen have the most temper tantrums are those people that get mad about the fabric. They had to wear fabric on their face. It was great. I know. It was just like, and they lost their shit, okay, over having to wear fabric on their face. Now they can tell women they have to give birth and rip their taint in half, but they can't wear a piece of fabric on their face. That's crazy. What do you don't tell me. I tell you. That's what it is. You don't tell me. I tell you.
Let those run wild. Wow. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door.
Holy shit.
Within a decade...
Shit. Again, it's the 60s.
I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse. Then...
What about banning it? What about judges banning it? Because that's what's happening right now. It's almost like he skipped right over that.
From the schoolhouse and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misuse.
What?
I would substitute psychology for religion. We're seeing it happen.
Where?
Deifying science. We're seeing it happen. What?
Hold on. What the? Did he not hear what he said? He said, even in the church, I would replace Bible study with therapy. That what he's talking about within the church. What is he talking about? Like, this guy's just like, oh man, he's just making all these connections in his head, man, and everything's just, oh my God, everything he's saying has come true. No, man, you're just not even listening, and you're just like, oh yeah, psychology is a thing that people like, science promotes more because it actually has evidence behind it. right? And actually works, instead of just go to your church where people just can make up shit. You can just go to the not therapy. What do they call it? Counseling. Go to counseling where they can literally just make up shit that they know nothing about what you should or shouldn't say to people, like marriage counseling and stuff. They just Jesus harder. just do my version of the Jesus thing more. Just do that.
What is science? Science is the systematic observation of the natural world. It's about looking at what God actually created and trying to understand it. And yet we then deify what we've seen and codified and systemized.
What?
When it all belonged to God in the first place.
What the fuck was that sentence? Like, what do you even mean? This is insane. It's so funny. Look, yeah, I'm just like demonstrating that the world works the way that the world works. It's just when we really should be just making stuff up, believing the people that say that it's all magic. We don't call things magic enough anymore. That's the real problem here. That's the real sin. Yeah, we should. What we need to do is stop testing everything. We should just stop doing science at all. That's terrible. Being able to demonstrate why things work the way they do. Just stop it. It's magic. That's why. Shut up. Go.
It's just revealing who he is. It's just, this was in 1965.
Yeah. It's like y'all are not very creative. You've been saying the same shit for fucking ever.
What's it now? What is that? 60 years ago. Crazy.
For religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money.
Now that one did come true. Okay, that's priests and pastors definitely do misuse the children there.
If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter.
Prophetic. It's prophetic.
An egg, and the symbol of Christmas, a bottle.
That's a no-brainer.
If I were the devil, I'd take from those.
A what? He said if I would make the symbol for Easter an egg, and the symbol for Christmas a what? A bottle? Is that what he said? Hold on.
Using boys and girls and church money.
Yikes.
If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg, and the symbol of Christmas a bottle.
That's a no-brainer.
Oh, a bottle. Okay, it is a bottle, like an alcohol bottle. Okay, dude. Yeah, I mean that didn't happen at all. It's Santa Claus. Okay, that's the symbol. So I don't know. All right, let me look at some comments. We'll take a break from this genius for a minute. I gotta let my blood pressure come back down. So what are you all doing? Y'all doing okay? Snaptrap said, "What about people who say they feel like they are a wolf born in a human body?" Well, I mean that's Wolfos is here. You can ask him, right? Is Wolfos here? No. I don't know. I don't think that's a thing other than Wolfos, but that's a special case. They are a cartoon wolf, like from that show BoJack Horseman, but there's not that many cartoon wolves in existence, really. It's kind of a, came out of a multiverse store of a TV show. It's a portal. Anyway, it's the whole thing, but we're not gonna get into the lore behind Wolfos' existence. Ember said, I get that, Joe. I was afraid I'd end up stuck in between and horrible to everyone. I got over that because I couldn't go on feeling trapped no matter what happens. Oh, I don't. I'm trying to think of what I see. Taken for. Oh, I see. We're talking about gender dysphoria. So, yeah, no, it's good to you gotta just go with what you want. That's. You're you, right? Like, fuck what other people expect of you. Why do people have to do what other people expect them to do just because that's what they expect them to do? Fuck you. Like, I'm just going to be me, man. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And if, sorry if you don't like it, I'll try to be polite or whatever, but don't tell me what to do. Don't expect shit from me. Okay. Right. Anyway, Snapstrap said, how would you even know what it's supposed to feel like to be born in a different body? I don't know. I mean, that's just, again, I feel like that's I reject the premise. I don't think that's the right way of saying it. I just think gender expression is and that's what you were saying anyway. It's just like gender expression is just on a spectrum, right? It's not cut and dry. It's not real. It's not just this or that. Hey, Michael, what's up, dude? I always, what? Oh, I always thought, what? I always that soul was genderless. I don't. I think he's saying I always thought that souls were genderless. I don't know. I mean, did women have souls back then? I feel like that's a fair question. Okay, is there a part in the Bible that's like, when women don't actually have souls? They're just the property of other people, because it's kind of the way things were back then, right? Sheesh. Leave the genitals alone, okay? Stop obsessing with genitals, man. What are you doing? Let's see. Al said, I'm transcending foreskin and growing to 5 skin. I'm already on 6 and 7, so you better catch up, all right? There's like literally nothing left now. Let's see. Jay said, Snapchat, unless you're old enough to consent. Unless you're not old enough to consent. Unless you're, oh yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, no, I got what you're saying. Yeah, then you can do the foreskin stuff. Because you're old enough to be like, yeah, I'd like that. I like the mushroom thing. I like the mushrooms look a little better to me. They're rather than the turtleneck. I kind of like the mushroom. I'm going to go in for an elective surgery on that. But yeah, just forcing children to go through it and then demonizing trans folks, and parents of trans kids is just insane. Ember said, you can feel like your body is wrong, is what that means. It's very similar to having a big old tumor hanging off your face. It doesn't tell you what another condition feels like, but still wrong. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Something's up, right? Something doesn't feel right. Right. But it's not like, oh, I'm supposed to be this or whatever, It just what you feel isn't right. Right. And then you got to do what you do to correct it, feel better. Lloyd Dissonant said, forget being born in the wrong body. I was born in the wrong era. Can I get removed and placed 500 years in the future? I know, right? Like, yeah, just get frozen, do like the Frozen thing, like in Demolition Man, end up like where we're all eating vegetarian Taco Bell, right? We're not even touching each other to have sex, just swapping fluids. And it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. And then no violence, until Wesley Snipes shows up, and then it's like, and the cops don't know what to do. I don't even know why they had cops. Like it felt like something like in that movie, it should have just been faded out. Like, we don't even have cops anymore. What is this? We don't know what to do. Like, everybody just behaves themselves. Everybody has everything they need. I don't know, But Giselle said, I have the same thoughts, just a small voice that says I'm just pretending. And what if I'm wrong? I'm taking one small step at a time. I'm so tired of pushing myself to be someone I'm not. Exactly. And you shouldn't. You should just be yourself. Just do what feels right. That's what matters, right? You're the one that has to live with you, right? So, do what feels right to you. And fuck everybody else. Fuck the expectations. Like, you don't owe anybody anything. It's just because, and I swear, I feel like half of the problem with like conservatives and trans folks and everything is they get really mad that they don't know who they can fuck right away. Just by a first glance, they're just like, they get mad about that. They're like, no, it's supposed to be cut and dry. That everything is just so we can like have kids, because that's all that matters apparently, right? And so you're making it a lot more difficult for me to figure out if I can have kids and stuff. It's really childish. It's like, I want the world to be what I want it to be, and they're just very insecure as well. I think that's another big part of it. Star Song said, I saw the movie Excalibur when it first came out in theaters. There was one scene in there that was taken out when it was released on DVD. I don't know what we're talking about. I've never seen Excalibur. What's that? Interesting. Let me scoot down a little bit here. And we'll get back to I tried to Lord Dissident said, there is nothing dirty about nudity. That's a religious thing. Yeah, but and it was just funny though that like we don't put as much nudity in movies as we used to, which is you would think it would have gone the opposite direction given the way they were talking about this, right? It's like in the 70s, everybody was naked in movies, because again, it was like the sexual revolution and everything. Like there was so much going on in the 60s and they're acting like this was like the 50s or 40s or like when it was just Leave It to Beaver time. It wasn't. This was the 60s. There was people having fun, okay? They were figuring out that we got to take drugs and stop listening to our parents right around that time. So, of course, they're going to make some kind of poem saying that it's because the devil's doing it, Jesus. It's funny. Star Song said, believe it's being depicted sexuals. Oh, geez. Well, that's those scenes are rough. Those are like some of the few scenes where I have a really hard time watching movies like that. It just bothers me. Like there was that The Hills Have Eyes remake. Oh, that bothered me. There was like a scene in the beginning of just like, oh, it just grossed me out. It's like, this is unnecessary. I get it. They're freaks. They're killing people. Can we just leave it at them killing people? Can we do that and make it quick, please? Kill the people quick. Just I don't like torture either. That one bothers me. Let's see here. This guy doesn't. Drusilla said this guy doesn't like things changing. It seems would be a great world if everything stayed the same. Yeah, isn't that just like the conservative motto? If everything was like way back in the 50s, it would be better, So, and no, it wouldn't. And I think that. They just don't want to admit it. Because it's this weird nostalgia thing where you're just like, everything when I was a child was better. No, it wasn't. It wasn't better. Okay? It just wasn't. I know you see it that way because you're looking at your past with this like warm, fuzzy feeling. It wasn't better. And for a lot of people, it was a lot worse. Okay? Anyway. Where are we at here? Drusilla said, or Lord Dissident said, authority, bow to no one. Goddamn right. No masters. You know what I'm saying? No gods, no masters. All right. Star Song said, I'll tell you, he's contradicting himself, and I don't think he realizes it. No, he doesn't. He doesn't realize a whole lot, he just kind of says things sort of like me, except that I feel like I can pick up because I'll actually listen to y'all. You're like, you just contradicted yourself, and I'm like, shit, I did. I'm sorry. Hold on, take that back. This you got to stop and think sometimes. I hate to say that. I'm the last one that wants to do that. Okay. I just want to spill my brain out through my mouth. But sometimes you gotta think. Hey, Deep State, what's up, dude? That's a lot of the problem with the religious nutters. What is the religious nutters are in the closet? Yeah. Seriously, I've never been more convinced that this guy is in the closet and he's trying to justify it. There's no other reason to be as obsessed with this stuff as he is. And then he'll always turn around and comment on like what men look like. It's so weird. Like it's so obvious that he has like a fascination with the male figure, Star Song said, beating is child abuse. I've gotten bruises from that form of punishment. Yeah, I think a lot of us, we always talk about it as being, oh man, when I was a kid, I got beat. Like that was like some good thing or something. It's like, dude, it doesn't help anything, honestly. Like, and it's a lot of times I really like that reason. It's like, are they old enough to reason? Then use reason, right? If they're not old enough to reason, they won't understand why you're hitting them. So don't hit them. Just use reason once they understand reason. Other than that, take stuff away, do whatever, I don't know, like send them to their room. You don't need to hit them. Jeez Louise. Because it always ends up going further than what it's supposed to be. It's like almost always. Let's see. Ember said temper tantrums. Has he seen the Karen video? I know. Right? And it's always like some conservative lady having a temper tantrum. Like it's so weird to me when they talk about like the kids having temper tantrums and like they're not well disciplined and everything. And yet the people that seem like they were the least disciplined, are the fucking conservatives that are showing up screaming about masks, screaming about everything. They have to have everything exactly the way they want it, even force other people to live in accordance with the way they want it. They have to have everything they want. That's a temper tantrum. And that's like what conservatives do more than anything. It's so frustrating. But they're pointing to everybody else going, you guys have temper tantrums. Like, go fuck yourself, man. Let's see. Ember said, and if you want to do it out in the open, that's right, then go to Adam and Eve. Where is it? Go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brantley to get 50% off any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. You can be as naked as you want and playing with as many toys as you want. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brantley. That's BRENTLY. At checkout to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. It's like 10 free items. Okay. And the stuff is amazing. It's good shit. Okay. You're gonna love it. I promise. Promise you're gonna love it. Go to adamandeve.com and enter that code and get your exclusive offer. The packaging is also discreet and it comes quickly, just like all the products make you do. Get your butt some stuff. Okay. All right. We're gonna back to the fun here. All right, let me go for a bit.
I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious.
Oh, what's that? Yeah. What? Again, the exact same arguments. They have not grown. Oh, let me take that back. Let me just do that again.
Science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. Yikes. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle.
That's a no-brainer.
If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious.
Yeah, communists, all those damn communists. You can't have any incentive unless you're desperate as all fucking get out. You can't, you can't have incentive. Everybody will just sit down and be like, I'm just lazy, because like housing is something that that is just available, just like a room for homeless people. If that were available, if like just a building of housing and, like just your basic needs of life, if that was available for homeless people, nobody would ever do anything. Everybody would be like, you know what? Instead of like working and trying to have more than just a room in a homeless shelter that's provided for me by the government, I'm just going to hang out in the room provided for me by the government in the homeless shelter. That's where I want to hang out at because I don't, we don't have any ambition. It's so fucking frustrating because it's like it's just the stupid narrative and it's still going on. And it's all just to like convince you that you need to be desperate. You're not going to do anything unless everybody's desperate. It's like, oh my God.
What'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich.
Oh, damn, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, right. That's I didn't even think of that. You will come not so quick with the products, but they work so good that it does make you come quick. You know what? Never mind. Okay, I like noted, duly noted. Okay, it's.
You see how crazy sports betting has become over the past few years?
What?
It's nuts. It's exploded.
What? That's always been a thing, man. What are you talking about? I swear, like it's gotten crazier over time. Betting. I mean, there's the state that he's talking about is Las Vegas, right? And again, this was 6 years before the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, right? So whatever they're showing in that movie, that was just right around this time. Okay. just to get you an idea of what the world that they're talking about.
Caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct.
Oh my gosh. What? Yo, it's crazy because the current sitting president put out this whole statement about this day of transgender visibility.
My God, this guy
blaming the extremists for basically bigotry against, that very fringe way of living.
It's really not. But What? Yeah, extremists are bad. This is so weird. It's like, you should be an extremist. What the fuck? Why would he say this in this like this little thing here? Like, I would caution against extremists. I'm the devil. I'm the devil. I think the devil is against extremists. What? That's so weird that they can be this fucking backwards about everything. Right. And then he's crying, I guess, about saying, yeah, Joe Biden said it's bad to be an extremist. Yeah, man, of course it's fucking bad.
And so now if you're a hard worker, if you're a patriotism,
in moral,
and if you're like, steadfast believing in what the Bible has to say about morality, you're an extremist.
Yeah. Have you read that thing, man? If anybody actually followed what the Bible actually says, you'd go to jail. You'd be like, all right, kiddo, I'm going to have to take you outside of town and have the whole town stone you to death because you talked back and got drunk. Yeah, that's what the Bible says to do, man. Yes, of course it's extreme. The book's from 2,000 fucking years ago. It says that you could beat your slave as long as they don't get up after, as long as they can get up after a couple days. A couple days. Because they're just your property. Who cares? Back in the day, it doesn't matter. Jesus Christ. Yes, of course it's extreme. Fuck, it's like written in the goddamn Bronze Age. Jesus Christ.
I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be.
I mean, swinging is just more fun. I mean, that's just objectively the case. If you can handle the jealousy part of it, because that does get, you gotta get yourself mentally ready for all this stuff. Okay. But it is fun if you get past all that stuff. I'm not saying that I've done anyway. We're moving on. I'm not going to.
And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. There wasn't diseases back then. I don't, I'm pretty sure. And the funny thing is the diseases I think that they're talking about there, we did eventually get cures for, but the disease but we're thinking about it from like other diseases that hadn't come out. Anyway,
in other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
What year was? Yeah, hold on. Thank you. This is so funny. Grand Theft Autobot said, yeah, because the president chooses when Trans Day of Visibility is, because they literally are so stupid that they actually thought that Biden chose that day. It's been that day since like 2009. It was before he was even president. What the fuck? And the funny thing is the Easter, because it's sort of, Easter moves around. A couple years back, it landed on the same day like back then too, but nobody gave a fuck. Nobody cared because it's just like, but because Biden was like, we see you, we love you, we want to support you and everything. And they're like, fuck, today's my day. It's like, you can't do that on Jesus's death day. This is torture murder day. You need to be talking about the torture murder and how awesome it is to torture murder. What? Oh no, we don't. I mean, we don't do the torture murder. That's bad. But we just that one torture murder was awesome. We needed it. So stupid. Jesus Christ.
Was that?
65. But...
Holy shit.
Holy
1965.
shit.
That's amazing.
God, Joe Rogan is so fucking stupid.
65. Wow.
1965, y'all. So
yeah. What? It's so weird they act like everything's so different from 1965. That was like the acid wave of 1965.
Oh, here's what I would say in general.
In general, let's do it. What are you gonna say?
I don't want this stuff to be happening the way that it's happening. It's not the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is the exact opposite of all of this stuff that you're seeing happen in culture.
It's beating your kids. It's just bending over backwards to do everything that a capitalist wants. It's just it's promoting desperation, because without desperation, nobody does anything. It's just everybody has everything they need. Nobody wants to do anything. It's ridiculous. Everybody needs to be desperate.
And that's what I'm here to advocate for, to advance the kingdom of God, to come back to Christ, to repent, to turn from our sins, to follow the one who gives us eternal life, abundant life here and in the life to come. coming back to the word of God, living.
It's weird when they say that. Gives us abundant life here and in the life to come. Really? Because y'all seem really irritated all the time and really mad that the world isn't doing everything you want it to do all the time. You're just the most irritated people. And I swear it's because they're constantly like, I'm doing everything right. And it sucks. And then they get mad at people not doing it all right. And that seem to be enjoying themselves. I swear that's what this is all about.
Living a life directed by the Holy Spirit. That's what I want. That's what God wants for people. However, God uses all things for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose.
Sure. Yeah, that's okay. Ray, what's up, Ray? Said, Jesus power, fairy tale, dust, and joy. Jesus power, fairy tale, dust, and joy. Thank you. We will. We will. We like fairy dust. Tail. I don't know.
And God will even use what the devil meant for evil for your good and for my good. And particularly, I want to say this to you right now.
Particularly.
Now, you might be watching this video. You might be watching this video to spite me.
I am. I'm just so blatant. You just don't even know. All right.
You know where I stand.
You should see my body, buddy. You would. Whoa.
You hate the things that I talk about, but you're watching this video nonetheless to maybe find a hole or to comment or whatever.
And if you want to find a hole, just go to adamandeve.com, and we can play with all the holes, It's this guy's holes. You can play with those. I know this guy wants people to play with his holes. That's for goddamn sure. With these products too, I'm sure. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley. That's BRENTLY at checkout to get the exclusive offer, and it's awesome, and you should do it. And then get your butt some stuff. This guy needs his butt to get some stuff. Okay, his butt is clearly begging for it right now. Clearly, it's ridiculous.
Hey, glad that you're here.
Thanks, man. I'm glad that you're here too, buddy. All right, let me go through some of the comments. I know I'm getting like all sidetracked and everything, and I wanted to try to make it be able to bounce back so I can cut out a bunch of it, and then we can make a little video out of this. But let's see. I feel like I missed some comments. Hey, what's up, dude? I know it was funny. It was funny, all the gay stuff, because he's gay, right? Because he's gay, and he's mad at gay people being able to have fun and doing the thing because he's gay and he's like acting like he's not allowed to be. And so anyway, it's funny. I mean, it's fun. It's sad. It's more sad, but sometimes those two things coincide. The sadness is what makes it funny. I'm mostly just sad. I just feel bad for the guy. I honestly wish he'd just go be gay, and enjoy himself. But Kent, what's up, dude? He said, but I don't want to come quickly. Bad cell. Oh, no, we already did that one. Okay, and you're right. I see your point. Okay, and while I still think that sells the products a little better because so if you say these products will take forever to have you come, it just feels like the products don't work good. Then that's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Okay. Martin's here. What's up, dude? Martin said, it will be on Hitler's birthday in 2025. What? Really? Oh, it's what, 420? Really? Isn't it weird that 420 is his birthday? How did it become a smoking holiday? How did that happen? Why? What is the 420 thing? Does anybody know that? Know why that is? Anyway, questions for the internet. You know what I'm saying? Deep State said, I work 12 to 14 hour days. I love my country. I have ambition. I support programs to help the poor and the least of us. I once was in a very bad position and those programs helped me. Same. Yeah, dude. 100%. I was on the street for a good about a year almost, and in and out of shelters. Saw a lot of people, a lot of friends died, ODs on the street and stuff like that, and the fentanyl, all that shit. So yeah, I've been there. Yeah, it's and those programs are they once you get to a certain level, it's like very difficult to just get up, like just to be able to pick yourself up and get out of those situations, because most of the time you have to have like $2,000 some fucking shit saved so you can put that down for your apartment or whatever. And if you have an eviction or anything like that, you're fucked. Nobody will rent to you, and you're not going to be able to, you're going to buy a house where you save up money, so you're just fucked. And we have no ways, no methods to help people get over that hump. And yeah, it's really fucked up. That's why I had to go to I did go to a halfway house, but I went to two, and one of them took serious advantage of everybody. They literally were like taking our food stamps and everything like that, and taking our entire paychecks and saying that they were saving up money for us. He ended up getting caught and shut down because he was literally stealing money from homeless people. He would go put them to work and then take their bank cards and everything and say, oh no, we keep your bank cards for you because you can't be trusted to use it. And then he would empty out everybody's bank accounts and then just give them like, here's $20, of the 700 you made the past 2 weeks or whatever, but you only get 20. It was disgusting, and he ended up getting shut down. But that's the type of shit that we have to deal with because there's no government regulated program. So you have fuckheads like that guy doing shit like that, It's disgusting. Anyway, where are we at here? Extremophobia. I'm extremophobic. I'm extremophobic. I don't deal with extremes. All right. I deal with normal. The sad thing is that when we're talking about this, the extremists are the ones that think they are normal. These extremists think they're normal, and they're saying like the regular people are extremists that just want to live the way they want to live. Oh God, what a mind fuck that shit is, huh? Let's see. Yeah. Deep State said those programs never killed my ambition. No, of course not. Dude, most people, we want to be doing stuff, dude. We're not idle people. Humans are not idle. We like to do things. We like to work. If we have the mental and physical capabilities of working, whatever it may be, we like working. And we've proven that in a lot of different ways. Like when there was this experiment, I think it was in Canada, and they gave like thousands and thousands of dollars to homeless people, and they assume, the assumption would be, oh, they're all going to go smoke crack. that was my assumption. Like, okay, a lot of crack just got bought. No, they went and got houses, got jobs, got themselves cleaned up. It was like 94% of everybody that was given these several thousand. I can't remember how much it was, but it was a lot of money. It was enough to get an apartment and all that. But like 94% of these people all got themselves on their feet just from having this money given to them by the government. And that goes completely against what this guy would like to think, that if you just give them money, they're just gonna be like, okay, sit down, be like, more, give me more, and that's it. And don't get me wrong, there was a couple people that had like mental issues and stuff and were addicted to drugs and had a heart and then couldn't snap out of it. That's always going to be. But it was a very, very, very small percentage of the people that were given the money. So it's interesting. I think it was only like 4 people out of like 70 or something. Anyway, I'd have to ask Kevin Francis, my old co-host at Left at the Valley. He was the one that was showing me that article. It's pretty interesting. Let's see. James, what's up, dude? James said 420 is when kids... What? Oh, 420 is when kids are finally out of school for the day and chilling with a packed bong. Oh, so it was more like a time of day, huh? Okay. And so when it falls, okay, so it's just a coincidence that when it falls during the year, you're like, oh, it's 420 right now, and it's 420 the day. Okay, I got it. I didn't go to high school. I didn't go to school at all. I was homeschooled, so I didn't have the standardized times like that. But that's kind of funny. And I didn't smoke any pot or anything like that until I was in my 18, 19, in that age bracket. I was very sheltered. But let's see here. Grand Theft Autobot said, in 1971, 5 high school students in San Rafael, California, used the term 420 in connection with a plan to search for an abandoned cannabis crop. Their meeting time was 4:20 before embarking on the search. That sounds like a movie. It's like written by the creators of Harold and Kumar, 4:20, the origin story or some shit, dude. Is that like an actual thing? We need to get on this. We need to get on it. If that's not already a thing, I think we can make this movie happen and make it a lot like, like White Castle, like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, or The Dude Where's My Car. We just need those guys. They wrote both those movies. But yeah, or maybe the Old School guy to direct it too. The Old School is awesome. It's a great movie. Anyway, Ember said 4:20 started in 1971. Oh, okay. Yeah, y'all are okay. So there we go. Y'all found the same Wikipedia article. Is that what that is? The group of high school kids in Cali went up to school. That's not an illegal pot farms. Yeah. Okay. So wow, that is interesting. If that isn't a movie, it needs to be. And I'm really surprised, honestly, that hasn't had a movie made about it yet. Let's see. All Hail the Prophecy. Okay. Well, I mean, that is a good movie. Okay. I really like Christopher Walken. Yeah. I mean, come on. That's like literally the only thing I could say with Christopher Walken. I mean, come on. That's it. That's all I do. It works though, right? That's it. You know who I'm talking about, right? When I say it like that. Let's see. Grand Theft Auto Bot says, call the movie Stoned by Me. Oh, that's good. That's really good. That's genius. Holy shit. If anybody that hasn't seen Stand By Me, it's a movie about a bunch of kids going to look at a dead body. And it was originally the short story by Stephen King called The Body. And yeah, it's really good. But that's really funny. Stoned by Me. All right. I think we might have to call it right there. Okay. Because it's almost 11:30 and I gotta wrap her up. But hey, thank you all so much for hanging out. This is a lot of fun. And if you want to have a lot of fun, go to adamandeve.com and enter code word Brentley and check out. They get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Let's go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley, and check out. That's BRENTLY, and check out and claim your exclusive offer. It's awesome. Okay. Lots of good stuff there. Look at all this stuff, man. Just even on this screen, I can see like 7 things that my butt might want, So get your butt some stuff. But you can support us by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, and entering that code word Brentley. Or you can become a patron at patreon.com/punkapostate, right? If you want to just do a one-time payment on Cash App, our cash tag is Punkapostate, right? If you want to become a member, I'm doing members only live streams every Wednesday. We did our first one yesterday and it was fun. It was pretty cool. I think I'm going to get a little bit more organized with it next time because that was sort of all over the place, but it was fun. And I think we all had a good time, right? So yeah, definitely become a member. Check that out. There's also members only videos coming out quite a bit. It tends to be videos that I'm working on that are kind of different than what I'm used to doing, which is this sort of thing. And so I've got one up there. I just put one up where it was this weird Kyle kid was like trying to debunk Aaron Ra, and it went very poorly, and it was quite funny. So yeah, check that out. Become a member, get access to extra content. You get badges, you get all sorts of stuff. So yeah, do that. Oh, and if we get to the highest level, which is really high, and I wouldn't expect most people to do it, but we are gonna. If we get some people on the highest level, we're gonna start having hangouts where we will do live streams like what I'm doing here, except that you get to be in the live stream. It'll be fun. We'll just hang out. We'll watch a video or something all together. I think we got to limit like 7 at a time though. So, and then I might put those up like on Patreon or something like that. It'd be cool anyway. But hey, the main thing though is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we'll see you next time.